That's all?
Whilst we're standing, can you just hands up, who has children? Who has children?
Que levante la mano quien tiene hijos.
And hands up, who in the future wants children?
¿Quién en el futuro quiere hijos?
Turn around, quick, this might be your opportunity. Right, if you'd like to sit down.
Can I leave now?
Yeah, that's fine, thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to spend the next few minutes sharing with you something that I discovered and came across a few years back. My name's Paul Templeton, and I've had the privilege of working with some extraordinary people for the last 30 years, setting up schools and running schools, and trying to help children be the best they can be. And like lots and lots of educators, we've found that it's to do with helping kids find what they're good at and what they love doing. And we just met Fran earlier, didn't we? He was talking about his education. He was talking about his opportunities. And you could feel his passion. You could feel his love. He's doing what he loves doing, and he's good at it. And if we can do that, something special happens. But you know, the curious thing is, in the 30 years we've been doing this, something else I've learned. Because that part of it is the journey of me. But there is another journey. It's the journey of we. And what we found that is extraordinary and remarkable is when we give our kids, your kids, the ones you're having now or the ones you might have in the future, those kids, when you give them the opportunity to help others do the same, then magic happens. Real magic happens. And I just happened to see a mum over there in the back who has 2 kids I know involved in what I'm going to talk about. Because we think we found a way of taking children on this remarkable journey from me to we. And it's called the Kindred Project. And the Kindred Project is about using education as a force for good. It really is about that. Wow, they're working. Thank you, Titi. Is it going roughly with what I'm saying? I hope so. So let me tell you just a little story. It's only for about 10 minutes. But I'd like this story to ask you this. Please, I want you to spread this idea into the schools where your children are and into schools where you go. Please do it. That's what I'm going to ask, because it is an idea worth spreading. And it starts, actually, I was working with my brothers. We'd set up colleges, and we, as I said, were meeting extraordinary people. And we came down to Sotogrande in 1995. Sotogrande's down the road. We were based in London, and we had a retreat. We asked a lot of educators to come down, and the retreat was about 1995, remember? This was about what does great teaching and learning look like in the 21st century? What does it look like? What's going to be different? We've seen some incredible stuff. We've got clues now. But in 1995, that was quite a long time ago. And one of the guys that we came down with was a guy called Gordon Dryden. And Gordon had just spent, he was a broadcaster and he was a writer. And he'd just spent 2.5 years traveling around the world, looking at the best schools and best ideas in education. And he'd written a book on it called The Learning Revolution. And we called the retreat at the time, Helping Change the Way the World Learns. Kind of ambitious, I must admit. Kind of ambitious, but we were younger then. But that moment, it really did. That was my aha moment. I thought, wow, what if we really could change the way the world learns? What if we could do something special with kids? By the way, Gordon's book went on to sell 10.5 million copies using that strapline, Helping Change the Way the World Learns. So I'm going to fast forward a bit because I can see the time's going tick-tock, tick-tock, tick. And I do want to convince you of this idea. And I'm going to introduce into a story some remarkable kids. So what I want you to do is imagine, we've been talking about the imagination, so that's great. What I'd like you to do is imagine that you're in a hall. It's a gymnasium, and there are lots of tables, and there are kids at these tables, And they've got all these kind of inventions around. And there's lots of people going around looking at them, talking to these kids about these inventions. They've been studying great thinkers, big ideas, and they've had to come up with their own big idea. And here they are being judged. Okay? Can you see it? Sort of. Right. So imagine you're now one of the judges, right? And you're going around, you're asking the kids, and they're presenting, and they're writing, and they're showing their marketing plans, and they're going to change these ideas into action. Well, 3 years ago, the thing that won it was an ecopod. You might say, well, what the heck is an ecopod? Actually, I did when we were going around. But that's an ecopod. Now, Michelle, having learnt about photography more, these pictures are taken by kids. I hope they capture essence rather than their beautiful These are kids going ka-chunk, right? I'll take it back to them and let them know the 7 steps of being able to make really good stuff happen. Right. But the ecopod, here it is. It's dead simple. It's a bicycle on the back of the trailer. In the trailer is a solar panel. And the great thing about this solar panel is you can charge your mobiles. So that anywhere in the world where someone's got a mobile, but they don't have electricity, it can get charged. Cool idea. Yeah? It should win it, shouldn't it? Well, if the story stopped here, I would say, in terms of helping kids find what they're passionate about, what they love doing, what they're good at, we'd be going, rock and roll, that's good stuff. That's the me bit. And this is a fantastic idea. But as I said before, the big aha was about the we part of the journey. So we, like lots of good international schools, do service learning, what's called service learning. So we've got programs in Morocco, we've got programs in Uganda, we've got programs in Ecuador, we've got programs in La Linea, in San Roque, locally and globally, where we help other people. And the kids learn to work with other kids. It's really important. And like lots of good international schools, we go around, we collect money, and we do it for the charities. But what we found was it didn't go deep inside the DNA of the school. It didn't go deep inside the learning community. It didn't. It was good, but it wasn't deep. So this is where, you saw his face earlier on, Steve Jobs comes into this. Founder of Apple. We were going, how the heck can we make this better? How can we? And here was the clue. If you think about it, we've always had a hard drive. We used to have people downloading software illegally, Napsters and all that jazz. The music industry was stuck over here. And along came Jobs, and he took that simple idea, hard drive, called it an iPod, stuck some music on a store, called it iTunes, invited the music industry into it to share with it, and put them together, and it revolutionized the way we listen to music today. And lots of people then joined to start doing podcasting, and you can go on, and it's there, it's changed. So I went, wow, maybe we could do something like that. And it was, I know it sounds dull, but it was a blinding flash of the obvious. Here's a school doing this good stuff. Here are NGOs doing this good stuff, Oxfam, Save the, blah, blah, blah. They're all doing it. But it doesn't seem to connect. So all we said is, what would it look like if we set up an NGO inside the school, run by the kids? What would that look like? We called it the Kindred Project. And there is TT, the champion running it. And really, now I want to take you back, because I want to take you back to what's so incredibly powerful about this. So, can I just take you, we're in Uganda. Can you see it? It's a rainy day, just had the big thunderstorm, right? The sun's just coming out. We're about 20 miles away from a big town in the south called Masaka. And there's this kid, 17-year-old kid on the bike. And guess what's on the back of the bike? A trailer. And guess what's in the trailer? Yeah, a solar panel. And it goes into the village. The villagers stick their mobile on. And this is the lovely thing. Most villagers really are, there are a lot of mobiles, but they have to go into Masaka. They have to get in a taxi. And when they get in the taxi, they pay a lot of money. So this costs them a fortune. This is done at a tenth of the cost. Can you imagine that? A tenth of the cost. And not only does it do that, it actually pays for the kids' education. Not only does it do that, it helps pay for the bike because the money's been lent. It hasn't been given. And it helps other kids. Wow. To me, that's what I'm talking about. The journey from me to me is an incredible journey. These kids inventing something in the invention convention, prototyping it, going and raising the money in their own NGO, and then going out to Uganda to do this stuff is pretty cool. So what have we learned? Because this sounds all lovely and rosy. What have we learned? Well, we've learned that you make mistakes, that it's a continuing journey. But fundamentally what we've learned is this. If you are going to empower the kids of today, so we don't have this casino economic world, this destruction and mayhem. Do you know how many people are unemployed here, under 25 in Andalusia? 50% of the under 25-year-olds are unemployed. We're going to lose a generation out of greed, economic greed. So these kids, if you can empower these kids, to really take charge, we will create magic. We really will create magic. And for us, we've seen that setting up an NGO inside the school, the kids running it, is one of the key things. The mistakes, I told you we made mistakes. What we found, and TT's come in massively to help with this, what we found is that you have to have the proper structure of an NGO. You really have to do it well. We've also found that the learning they do in the classroom, the global citizenship learning they do in the classroom, must obviously connect with what they do in the Kindred projects, so that the learning they're doing here, they go out and practice and really do stuff for real, locally and globally. We've learnt that. And we've learnt that you do need a champion. We have one. So may I plead with you, real plead, it does make a difference to the kid's life. You can see Wendy. I'm not sure you're allowed, the camera won't go that way. But Wendy's two kids, Sophie's over there, really does change them. So I've been thinking about seeing this idea, presenting it to you today. I think I'd like to try and create a verb for it. So I'd just like you to go out and me-we. Please do it. Thank you.